You even vaxxed, bro. You even vaxxed.
You even vaxed, bro? I think that's the name of our episode.
You even
vaxed, bro?
You even vaxxed, bro.
So, come October, if you wait until October to do a lockdown, right?
Yeah.
It's too late. Because by then, you're going to see all these vaccinated people getting crushed. Because now, the real COVID virus, which is a flu virus,
Right.
is being it's coming back.
Right.
And you're vaxxed. I really think this October, November, December, January, February is when you're going to see the spikes in death shoot through the roof.
Well,
because you just shot people with a spike protein and their body went, this isn't too bad.
what I think they're planning to is they had those kids get vaccinated. And when children start dying.
Well,
You think Pfizer and Moderna are going to come out and apologize?
Well,
they're going to blame the unvaxxed.
They're going to blame the unvaxxed. Which, hey, newsflash, everybody: healthy people don't make you sick, right? So, a person who doesn't have AIDS or HIV can't give you AIDS. And I see you looking at me, and I know what you're thinking. Let's just say we know. I know, because you're laughing. I know what you're thinking. And I'm thinking the same thing. But I like to use that because it scares people. Right. I mean, if you're our age, if you're in your 40s, AIDS is that's a death sentence.
Oh, buddy.
And we weren't even allowed to know who had AIDS. No. Remember the movie Philadelphia? He got to sue the shit out of everybody. Now they want passports for a freaking flu bug that kills less than 0.08% of the population. So, but what you were saying about the kids, when they were pushing the kids, another Heather W. sent me some stuff this week.
Yeah.
And
I know her.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. Guess what?
Yeah.
NBC News. NBC News. Delta, quote, Delta is making a growing number of children very sick. So now today, which is August 5th? August 5th, I've seen 3 stories now that have mentioned kids getting sick. For a whole year.
Nothing.
Nothing.
They didn't get sick from anything.
But what's coming up? We're in August now. What starts in next 2 to 3 weeks? School starts. So they're starting to push it. They're starting to push.
They're laying the ground.
Kids. Listen, kids are all going back to school masked. I don't care what your local school district is saying right now. Yeah. Unless you live in Florida, Texas, South Dakota, you going back to school masked.
Yeah, no. I watched it. This makes me so angry, just even thinking about it. Tinfoil had put an Instagram out, and it was a baby laying on a hospital bed.
Oh, well, they were jamming the freaking thing up their freaking nose.
Q-tip. It was about 6-8 inches up in that.
No, it was about 8. Yeah, that thing was long. Well,
I tell you what, if I was in the room, I would have killed everybody in that room.
So they're starting to talk about if you don't get vaccinated, you're going to have to do 1 to 2 mandatory tests a week. No. Oh, no. See, here's my plan. Go ahead and jam that thing up my nose. So you're going to do it. If you do 2 a week, Monday, Wednesday, right? It says a work week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday through Friday, right. Wednesday's the middle.
Right.
So Monday, they're going to jam that thing up my nose. I'm off for the next day. I don't feel right. I'm dizzy. Jam that thing into my brain barrier. I have a headache. I can't work. I'm going to come back Wednesday. You're going to jam it up my nose again. I'll never work again, dude. As long as that's the policy, where they got to jam that thing up my nose 2 times a week, I won't work again. Because every time they put that thing in a freaking invasive medical procedure into me, I'm going to be sick.
Into a healthy person.
And if they draw blood on me, that's even better. Because now you're going to have to send someone to pick me up, take me home, because I'm too dizzy to drive.
Yeah.
And then when you do it a second time that week, you have to send someone, and I'm off. I will never work again, except for like that 2-hour period where I got to go get that test done. That's it.
Yeah. No, they ain't touching me.
Well, they ain't touching you because you're a private business.
I don't care.
Douchebag.
I'd quit my job.
No, I let them
I
do
would
it
too.
to me. Oh, no, I see. But, like, I like to play games. Like, I'll definitely let them do that to me. But after about a month or two of me not working, eventually they're going to be like, dude, we got to put you off.
Well,
Okay.
What we need to do...
Pay me better. I don't care.
When I, like, all of us private business owners, what we need to do is only do business with unvaccinated people.
Yup. But listen, I'm starting to see more and more stupid tweets or Instagram posts like, you think you're going to boycott these places that ask for a vaccine passport? You ain't allowed in. Okay, we'll play your game. What have we said repeatedly? People who aren't taking this ain't putting your roof on. Oh, that sucks. Oh, hey, we're not unclogging your toilet as your freaking basement fills with shit.
Yeah.
We ain't doing it.
Are you vaxxed?
Are you vaxxed? Oh, yeah, we ain't coming into your house.
Yeah, that's what we need to start doing.
Mm-hmm.
That restaurant owner, now we're talking about, you want us to say it now? What's
Yeah, go ahead. You can talk about him.
That dude he was on, let me pull him up here. He was on CNN with Chris Cuomo.
Hold on.
Okay.
Quit sending texts while we're friggin'.
You started it. You said something first.
What did I send?
Sure it wasn't Convoy?
No, it was you said it. Remind me something. I wasn't paying attention.
But Chris Cuomo had he's a restaurant owner in Huntington Beach in California. And he has a sign up in front of his business that says, we only serve unvaccinated guests. While the dog's in the room.
Oh, hey, we're gonna try to get her to calm down. Then she can just chill with us.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Now the dog's settled down.
Yeah, hopefully she chills the hell out.
No, but we were talking about Cuomo. Oh, Chris Cuomo, CNN,
the brother of the toucher,
Yeah.
the killer.
the killer.
Yeah, he killed all those old people, old folks.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, but he also sexually assaulted like 7 people.
Well,
7.
Well, that's how many
Probably
he
pretty
has.
much any half decent looking woman that come through.
Right.
I
He
never
was
get
touching.
hit on.
Well, Chris Cuomo he was a bar, I think a bar and restaurant owner from Huntington Beach. Tony Roman is his name. But he has a sign in front of his store that says, only serve non-vax people.
Yeah.
And they had, like,
That's what everybody should be doing.
Right.
Right.
And he went on the show, he handled himself pretty good, but as good as you can against, they have control of everything. I mean, at any time they can cut you off.
Right.
Oh, his mic's not working, you know what I mean? Or something.
Yeah. They can make it look like good. They can cut it.
Well, at the end, it ended pretty, like, they both called each other stupid, which was great.
Yeah.
But, like I said, like, why don't Chris Cuomo have his brother on and ask him why did he put all those COVID patients in the old folks' homes? Or why is he molesting all the staffers?
Well, I mean, that Cuomo had COVID. He was supposed to be quarantined, but they caught him outside.
He's out walking around.
Yeah.
It was so hard to be.
He went to like his summer retreat. Yeah.
He had some wacky thing. It was like, you just got to breathe.
Well, his wife is a holistic.
You ever see that
like
clip?
his wife or something is like a holistic doctor. Like they don't believe in like medicines and stuff. She believes in like holistic treatments.
Yeah, I don't believe in the viral.
I mean, yeah, like I believe in like I use oils and stuff. I mean, they've only been using them for thousands of years before the last 50.
Yeah, me and his wife don't believe in germ theory, so why we not?
No, but I think some things can be cured without jamming an artificial drug into your system.
Yeah, into your body, and then
Right.
putting a giant Q-tip up into your brain.
Yeah.
But I would not made that to his hero of the week.
Yeah. No, he was good for having the balls to go on.
Look, go on there because you know you're going into the lines and communist
Right.
CNN. But
I know, girl.
I just wanted to bring that up while we were talking about the.
Well, I like that Ian Smith. He was the one that owned the gym in New Jersey.
Yes, those guys are great.
Yeah. And he's the one, like, they came and, like, boarded up the gym, and he, like, took the boards and the doors off the freaking
Well,
building.
they changed the lock, so he took the doors off.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys were.
But I think we talked about him last week where he said he keeps getting calls from media outlets talking about what we're going to do in the second shutdown. And that was a week ago before like the talk. And like when I was reading that the tweet or whatever to my wife, she was like, "Yeah, good for him." She was like, "We ain't effing shutting down." And I'm like, "That's not the important thing. The important thing is the media is talking about the second shutdown already."
Right.
Yeah. But he tweeted this week, one that I saw was, if you complied and put a mask on when the lady at the grocery store sneered at you, how are you going to refuse the mandated injection? Start getting comfortable with confrontation, social pressure, being inconvenienced and discriminated against now. Because that's what's coming.
Right. We're now officially second-class citizens.
Right. And I saw an article earlier this week where like they were talking about like how, you know, some of the first people on board with like the Nazi stuff were the doctors.
Right.
They were the first. Like I heard a story where that like this little girl they were in like a elementary school class, and her friend was brought to the front of the room because she was Jewish, and a doctor came in and was like measuring her head, saying, "See, this Jew's dumb. Their brains are smaller than ours." So the medical field was the first on board with the Nazis.
Yeah.
So just think about that when they start. Like, I see a day soon where they're like, if you're not vaxxed, you're not allowed to get medical treatment.
They're doing it in France.
Yeah. You're not coming into our hospital. You're not coming into.
Well, this might backfire on them. I just thought of this in my head. They're trying to separate us.
Yeah.
With this.
With it, yeah.
But know what it's going to do. I think it's going to ruin their race separation because
the blacks ain't getting it.
No, so yeah. Black people are getting it. Now we're going to be hanging out. Me and you are going to hang out with a bunch of black dudes.
Yeah.
Saying,
hey, like salt and pepper.
Yeah. We ain't getting you know what I mean? That might backfire on them.
It might.
Because it's going to bring races together.
I still think like the biggest problem is in today, if you're over the age of like 50, you still think like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, like their news is like believable.
Right.
I mean, I read this super long tweet, and honestly, we just don't have time. But it was a British dude, and he's like, "Do you want to know why nobody believes the media anymore, or like believes anything anymore? Vaccine hesitancy." And it went on like, first they told us that what did they call that? That when the Brits were going to leave the EU, Brexit. They were like, they told us for months it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen.
It did,
and it did. And then he goes, I wake up one day and I see this guy named Donald Trump running for president in America, and they're like, that ain't going to happen. He ain't going to win. There's no chance. Hillary Clinton's going to win 49 of 50 states. Boom, it happens. He goes, then what do they do? Well, if you voted for Brexit or you voted for Trump, you're racist. Racist. Bigot. He's like, then they push the Jesse Smollett. Then they push the Indian dude in D.C. with all the kids. And then he goes, you find out Smollett was a liar. You find out that it was the Indian dude that actually approached the freaking high schoolers. He goes...
Matter of fact, those kids handled out way better than I would have when
I was in stage, I'd have punched that dude right in his face.
Oh, for sure.
I missed that one.
What do you mean you missed that one?
He goes, then it was Trump... Yeah.
We didn't say that. Hey. Sasha, we didn't say nothing about Nazis.
We didn't say Nazi yet.
Yeah.
Then he said, Trump only won because Russia. Then you find the Mueller report's going to come out. Then it comes out. Nothing. He goes, we've been lied to for freaking 5 years now.
The worst thing I've heard about the Mueller report, maybe Trump likes to get peed on.
Yeah, but that was fake too. That was fake too, because Hillary Clinton paid for that research.
I know, but I mean, if that's the worst thing he's done, good. That ain't even that bad.
Yeah, no.
I know people do crazier things than that.
We're so screwed.
Maybe Ashley does. She's sitting in there.
But, like, did we talk about the German autopsy?
No, we didn't bring that
The
up. That was my
official
next-
autopsy
Right. No,
of the COVID death.
Well, I posted. You sent me a link or a Hal Turner report from a month ago that we put on Instagram that was a rumor,
Mm-hmm.
and we got.
Well, hold on. Before we get into this,
Yeah.
I want to remind everybody the very first person who was vaccinated in England. Now, he is dead.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
The very first one who was vaccinated in England
Well, Shakespeare.
was named William Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And what was Shakespeare famous for? The world is a stage.
Dying after COVID.
Yeah.
At 92.
So, I like we've always said on this show, there are no coincidences.
No.
So, how is it that the very first dude who gets the injection is named William Shakespeare,
Says they're not dead.
who
Who names their kid
says
William
the
Shakespeare?
world is a stage?
British people.
Right? Like, I mean, he was famous for, fake things. Like, he was a,
Well,
playwright.
essentially, William Shakespeare wrote every movie we've ever seen because
Yeah.
every story he wrote,
Yeah.
you've
It's-
seen it.
Right. But
There's no other stories to write.
And the sad thing is, these schools want to take classics out.
Right.
So, wait until, the Disney Channel's like, Romeo, Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? And kids will be like, duh, what Romeo? Who Romeo? I read the Dork Diaries when I was a senior. That's what it's gonna be, dude.
Well, it's gonna be
You
like,
think I'm kidding?
it's like the movie
I can't handle
Idiocracy.
you right now.
The most.
Yeah.
Right now, you thought that was a comedy. Right now, I think it's futuristic. It's history.
Yeah, yeah. You mean water? Like out the toilet. You put water on plants.
Yeah. They're spraying that energy drink on
They're
it.
spraying Brondo.
Well, that was supposed
Brondo?
wasn't Brondo an energy drink?
Yeah, it was energy.
That was before energy
Brondo
drink
got
was big.
electrolytes.
That wasn't even
Well,
that.
what are electrolytes? It's what they use to make Brondo.
I mean, I watch TV on a giant chair that's
Yeah.
a toilet.
And who's the black dude's the president?
Yeah, that's the guy from.
The big dude, man.
He used to play.
Everybody hates Chris. He was the dad.
Yeah, he played. I think he was a defensive end for the Vikings or something.
Well, he was in the Expendables movies.
Well, he was in The Longest Yard, the new one.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Oh, he's real
Yeah.
big.
But didn't he come out about Hollywood being touching everybody? He was molested or something.
He may have said something about that.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but he was.
But you wake up and be like, but you're the smartest dude. He tests him and Maya Rudolph are the two smartest people.
Yeah, all because he's a regular dude.
Yeah. And he wasn't even smart.
He was just like everybody. Well, that's the thing. That's here's the dirty secret about history and life is they especially now. They teach you in school that you're stupid.
Yeah.
Essentially, they tell you that you should have to trust science and all
Right.
this other stuff. You can learn it. All you gotta do is pay attention, read books, and some of the smartest people in the world were never taught by anybody else but themselves.
Well, what I find amazing is, so the founding fathers wrote the Constitution, and it was written so that your basic farmer
Can
could
read.
understand it.
Right. That's
And
why
I always laugh, even the Bible, why do I have to go to college, like a seminary or a
to
college,
teach the Bible.
to learn the Bible? It's literally written in my language.
Yeah.
So
it
when-
wasn't
hey,
until
No, right. But I'm saying
he nailed feces
when-
on the door. Feces.
when God rains down fire because you don't listen, I get God literally rained down fire and turned people into pillars of salt for not listening.
They turned back and looked. That's a little.
Yeah, after he told them not to.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. I mean, well,
But I tell people about getting ready, be ready, start preparing. People are like, I pray, and you know what? I pray, and God will take care of me. But if you read the Bible, if you're this big of a prayer person, you should have read the 10 virgins where 5 of them bought extra what's his name was putting away 7 years of grain because he knew that 7 years of bad times were coming.
Well, you don't. That's all. I mean, people get mad at me. They think I'm like being sacrilegious. I'm like, pray in one hand, shit in the other. See which one fills up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't pray.
Right.
You don't pray for food to show up at your house. You pray for other people to find food, and you go get food.
Right. Well, I also think that like being prepared. I mean, being prepared is biblical. It's biblical.
Yeah.
Like, it's biblical. You know.
No. Yeah. No.
I don't like. There's not much more. You can say you sit and pray, but listen, you're gonna be let down when the time comes, and there's nothing on the shelf.
What is that?
Because
Story like the man sitting on a house and it's flooded. And he says, "Please God, come save me." And a boat drives up and says, "Hey, come on, get in." He's like, "No, God's going to save me." The boat drives off.
Yeah.
Then a helicopter comes, drops a ladder, and he's like, "No, God's going to save me." And the helicopter flies off. You know, and then he dies, and he goes to heaven, and God's like,
I sent
like 3 or 4 people to come get you. You just sat there like a dum-dum.
Well, there's the story in the Bible where you knock and you won't open the door, but it's God knocking. Just because he looks like a peasant,
right,
doesn't mean it's not God.
Well, look at Jesus.
Yeah,
he wasn't wearing rich man's clothes.
Right, he didn't ride. He rode in on a donkey.
Right.
I like to think of Jesus as a homeless man, and I'm about to sock him right in the face, but I'm like, oh wait, that's Jesus.
And like, what's funny is when you start, like, when you talk about like Sodom and Gomorrah,
yeah,
like he literally offered his daughters to the freaking rapists,
right,
because they wanted to come perform sexual acts on the angels that came,
right.
How sick is that?
Yeah.
That's like America, dude.
Yeah.
That's like America.
That's the way it is now. But I prefer my Jesus wearing a tuxedo T-shirt.
I'm here to party.
Baby Jesus. Hey,
he's watching. I'm playing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner.
I like this. I was driving on the road the other day, and I was sitting at the stoplight, and I look over, and they have like a bobblehead Jesus, like the shaky thing, you know, on the spring. And it was like, you know, pointing its fingers, like, you know. Yeah. They're so funny. All right. Where were we?
We were finishing up on COVID, I think.
We were talking about our favorite Jesus.
Yeah, what's your favorite Jesus, man? Little baby.
Okay, so we talked about the German. Oh, no. We were talking about the German autopsy.
Oh, yes.
We didn't even get into it.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, I sent you the article.
It was like almost a month ago about the leak. There was a leak that the information came out that his whole body was covered in spike protein.
Yeah, and
all his organs. Everyone has organs.
Not all of them, because
that was a
Facebook and stuff was fact checking it. It was like 8 out of 10.
Right, that's what they played.
Or 9 out of 10.
It wasn't all the organs. It was 8 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Yeah,
fact check, baby.
Fact check. Well, I got fact checked for that one. What the hell was it for? And you wrote.
It was the one where you had to stop the Delta strain, and it was a dude putting earplugs in, and it literally like blacked it out, and you had to click on it. Because it was like sensitive information. It wasn't sensitive. It was satire.
It was a satirical comment about shutting your ears off to the news.
Yeah, quit turning the freaking news off.
Now there's another one I put up, and you wrote, fact check this. How about all the VAERS reporting that 10,000 people died?
Yeah. Oh, because they said it's safe.
Oh, safe and effective. The only medicine in the history of the world is 100% safe and effective.
Safe and effective.
Yeah. Every other, you listen to at night you're watching TV, it's like it's like, you may develop diarrhea.
Well,
blood clot.
Do you know
die of a brain tumor?
Why you don't see those commercials on? Like, for the vaccine. Like, you'll have commercials that say, go get your vaccine. But if they say, Pfizer presents to you the COVID 2-shot vaccine.
Right.
Because they have to list
the
side effects.
Right, and they couldn't because
they can't because it's like death, freaking liver, kidney issues, like
organ inflammation.
Death. I mean, I don't know why anybody would take a vaccine or any drug.
Any drug. Because it's crazy to be like, are you feeling like you're going to commit suicide? Take this pill, and it's like...
Side effect may cause you to commit suicide.
Yeah, side effect. May slit your wrist. May shoot yourself in the head. May hang yourself from a tree.
Maybe Clinton-icide.
May start your car, put a hose in the window.
Yeah. May shoot yourself twice in the face.
Yeah, you may.
When you walk across and you crawl across the road into the local park and sit down and then shoot yourself twice more.
Yeah, you may kneel in front of your TV in your living room, shoot yourself in the head twice in the back.
Yeah.
The back of your head.
Your back of your head.
You may grab a gun, shoot yourself twice.
Well, anyway, what did the official... The official autopsy was released. Right?
Yes, it was published.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it says in the article. It was officially published. And it's saying that the spike proteins were in every organ.
Yeah, this one didn't say every organ.
Yes,
Oh,
it did say every organ.
I'm pretty sure it
8
said
out of 10?
Not 8 out of 10. But it also said that the body was, quote, overrun with high viral NRA loads.
Yes.
Also known as spike proteins.
Yes.
And that's what I think. That's why I think they need to shut us down. Because if they let us just keep doing what we're doing now, come October, I think when you get COVID, because it's the flu, that's our new flu, I think it's going to freaking spike. But it's not going to spike in like the dude that didn't get the COVID vaccine or the dude that drinks whiskey every night like me. It's going to spike in the dude that was like, what up, bro? I got 2 shots. How dare you not get your shots?
Right.
And then they're all just going to start falling over dead.
I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is a little side note on this. I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I was standing there watching. It's called the Garage, and there's like a garage band set up, and like people that are visiting the place will go in and play, like real bands. It's pretty cool.
Play?
No,
Did you sing?
I know what you want.
How about that felt good? Stupid.
I know what you need.
My dog just pulled my mic down.
That was that big spiking sound of it smacking her head.
No, but there's just guys playing music or whatever. It was cool. And me and my daughter standing there. And there's this other couple standing right to the left of us. And this family walks over with masks on. And they stop right here in front of us. And that guy's like sitting there watching. His wife grabs him, pulls him over away from him. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
You didn't have a mask.
No. I looked over at her, and she whispered, I could see her lips moving, and she said, those people are vaccinated. Stay away from them.
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh, yeah. I looked at her, I was like,
Wait, if they were wearing masks, how could you...
the other couple.
the other couple,
Yeah.
the other
You didn't
family.
explain that very
Oh,
well.
sorry.
Yeah.
Another family
I
walked.
thought like they came in, stood in front, masked people stood in front of you and your daughter, and then realized that you two weren't masked.
No, I'm sorry. No, the masked people stood in front of me and my daughter, and then people beside me,
Yeah.
she grabbed her husband and pulled him away from those people with the masks on. And I looked over, was like, wow, that was weird. And then I saw her whisper, those people are vaccinated.
You should have ran right over and gave him a high five.
I just looked at her, I just shook my head like,
Yeah.
We both like nodded at each other. And when I told the story to my uncle, and he was like, well, how would they notice they're vaccinated? I'm like, because who else is wearing masks?
Yeah, morons.
No one else wears a mask. No, like, anybody that's been vaccinated is not wearing a mask already.
Right.
And anybody that hasn't been vaccinated is not wearing a mask now. Why would, because it's readily available.
If you want it, you can get it.
Right.
If you're over the age of 12.
You can get the shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, if people are wearing masks, they're probably double vaccinated.
Double.
And because the news...
Unless they got the JJC.
But,
JJCs.
Single, yeah. But the stories you're hearing now are that these people that are vaccinated are carrying, is passing around and making these...
Well, last week we talked about it, where the freaking CDC literally said they're carrying 1,000 times the viral load than anybody else is.
But now
they backtrack.
I heard them backtrack. It's the exact same as unvaccinated person.
No,
what they're saying.
not.
That's what they're saying. No, that's what they're saying.
Because the Israeli study,
right? That's what
the Israeli study's like. The efficacy of the shot keeps dropping
big time.
Yeah, and that's only going to get worse.
Right.
And it's also saying like 70 or 80% of their people who are getting it are the vaxxed.
Yeah.
This is the only... Hold on. I got to find the article. I got to see if I sent it to you.
Right now, openly, this is the only country that they're saying that unvaxxed people are getting this.
Yeah.
Every other country, it's like giant numbers of just vaxxed.
Yeah. I got to see if I can find where... Tell me I didn't save that. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay, so this is MSN.com. from the Wall Street Journal. Okay? Headline. Some vaccinated people are dying of COVID-19. Here's why scientists aren't surprised. Okay? So this is a study, this is out of London. And it says, as the Delta variant of the coronavirus surges through the UK, almost half the country's recent COVID-19 deaths are people who have been vaccinated. But doctors and scientists aren't sounding the alarm about the apparently high proportion of deaths among vaccinated population. On the contrary, they say the figures are so far offer reassurances that the vaccines offer substantial protection against the variant, particularly after 2 doses. Delta was first identified in India after they stopped using ivermectin, and has since spread to at least 85 countries. Okay, so that's the opening paragraph. And what they've said is half the deaths are vaccinated people.
Right.
Half. I think it's 46% later on in the article. But they're not surprised. They're not surprised.
Oh, I'm surprised.
And they're not sounding the alarm because it's showing that it offers substantial protection. Okay, so let me get this straight. Something bad's in the world.
Well, 46% of the people would have died anyway. Then.
Hold on. Something bad's going on in the world. It doesn't have to be a virus. It can be anything. Something bad.
Okay.
But the government offers some people a safety net.
Right.
If you take this, it's a safety net. But half the people taking it start to die. To me, the government should be like, oh shit balls. Like, half the people who got the protection are dead.
Right. Yeah.
Not, oh, don't worry, that means it's working.
No, that's what I say. I'm surprised because I was told that this was the answer. 100% of you. This is 100% safe and 100% effective.
So it says the UK is a testing ground for how vaccines are coping. Delta is racing through the country with 146,000 identified cases in the past week, 72% up on the week before. The country is also the world leader in identifying through testing and genetic sequencing, which is the only way you can find the Delta variant. So if you walk to your local freaking CVS and get the freaking swab and they tell you have Delta, bullshit, they can't tell you that.
Right.
By mid-June, 97% of cases were Delta infections, which I don't even know how they know. The Delta is spreading among populations. It says it's spreading among a population that is among the most highly vaccinated in the world. 85% of adults have had at least one vaccine shot, and 63% have had 2. So in Britain, 85% of adults have had at least 1, 63% have had at least 2, and the Delta variant is ripping through that country.
Yeah, that's almost like the whole population.
Mm-hmm.
That's way over the...
well, we did hit the 70% of at least 1 mark here in the U.S.
Then we should be good then. That's what they
Okay,
want.
so data from the Public Health England show that there were 117 deaths among 92,000 Delta cases logged through June 21st. 50 of those, or 46%, had received 2 shots. So, out of the entire country of England, there were 117 deaths. Well, okay. Out of 92,000 known cases, there were 117 deaths. 50 of those were people who were vaccinated. So 46%. Now listen, but rather than suggest the Delta is displaying a worrisome ability to evade the vaccine, scientists say those figures support the shot's effectiveness.
Yeah, it works.
Right. First, and they give 3 reasons. These are great, dude. First, vaccines aren't 100% effective. We know that.
Yeah,
we know that.
Yeah.
I mean, the average flu vaccine shot each year is about 30% effective. Some years it's 13%
Right.
effective.
It's useless.
Some it's 40. And it says not everyone who is inoculated will respond in the same way.
Yeah, some get autism.
It says COVID-19 vaccines are highly effective, but some people will still be vulnerable to the virus, even after receiving the shots. Second, the risk of dying from COVID-19 increases steeply with age. So now all of a sudden age plays a freaking before it was bullshit.
Yeah, at the beginning of this.
Now it's age. If a vaccine reduces an 80-year-old's risk of death by 95%, for instance, that 80-year-old's risk of death might still be greater than the risk faced by an unvaccinated 20-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that already. If you were over the age of 70, you were at a higher risk.
Yeah.
Period.
That's just life.
So now they're saying even if you're over that age and vaccinated, you're still at a higher risk than a 20-year-old unvaccinated.
Oh, is that true? I didn't realize that.
Well, that's what this article's saying.
Well, who the hell didn't know that?
Yeah, right.
So, like, if you're 90, you obviously aren't as healthy as a 20-year-old.
Right. So,
What?
lastly, this is my favorite one. Third, as most of the population gets vaccinated, there are fewer unvaccinated people for the virus to infect. Right?
That's what they said.
Hold on. If the pool of vaccinated people is larger than the pool of unvaccinated people, then it is possible and even likely that breakthrough infections resulting in death in the older vaccinated group would match or exceed the deaths in the younger unvaccinated group. Consider an imaginary country with 100% of the people vaccinated, where the virus can still somehow spread. All COVID-19 deaths would be in vaccinated individuals.
Wow,
in that paragraph, they've literally just told you that getting a vaccine
it's useless.
Doesn't mean shit.
I've had arguments with people, and it just, my mind hurts so much, I just walk away from them.
Now, this isn't, Billy Smith's conspiracy theory website.
Yeah.
This is literally the Wall Street Journal.
Right. But, like having my kids, flu vaccine. The whole school is completely flu vaccinated, except for, 5 kids. They're telling me that's not how the science works. I said, what do you mean? How your kids are vaccinated?
Right.
My kid isn't. She's at risk. Your kid isn't. No, that's not how it works. Can you explain to me what the science is then? Why are you getting the vaccine?
That's why I like.
And in your mind, you just want to.
It's funny because everybody wants to talk about diseases. Let's say they come out tomorrow with a poison ivy vaccine.
Sure.
Where if you get this vaccine, you no longer get poison ivy.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the theory of it, yeah.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you you ran out and got that vaccine. Because someone like me, if I breathe around poison ivy, I get it.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, I'm going to get this vaccine. But then I still get poison ivy. That's them trying to say, well, it was the guy who didn't get the vaccine that had poison ivy that gave you poison ivy.
Yeah, that's a great, thing to say.
Because poison ivy's not, when you start looking at it like a non-deadly thing, your whole perspective on shit changes.
Well, it is not.
I don't even think this is, that's not what I'm talking
I know, but I mean, that's why
why
me and you look at it differently, because we realize that it's really
it kills 0.08,
but
not 0.8.
Well, every time you say that, someone has to yell my great-grandfather's cousin's brother's sister's older aunt died from it. She was 97 and had a brain tumor.
We know.
And then everybody has to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Okay, so
that's why I take it seriously.
I can honestly say I have yet to meet anybody who's died from COVID.
No, they're
Most of us are dead.
No. I don't know anybody. Okay, not me. I don't know anybody who's died of COVID.
Right.
Now, we have friends that they're like, my dad died of COVID.
Yeah.
Right? So he used to live near us. But I'm like, he died of COVID. Can you, like, what happened?
He fell off his bicycle.
Hold on. No.
He shot himself in the head.
So he was 72 years old, or 70-some years old. He got pneumonia.
Did he get COVID pneumonia?
He got COVID, then he got pneumonia.
Oh, COVID pneumonia.
Then he died. Which leads me to I sent you guys the text, or the tweet, or the photo where it was like, this isn't a pandemic of the unvaccinated. It's a pandemic of sick people who are turned away from the ER and doctor's office, not treated, told to come back when their pneumonia is so bad they can't breathe. That's why we're dying of COVID. If you are sick and you go over to the hospital and you don't need anything, they're going to say, go home, drink Gatorade, rest, like you do with the flu.
Right.
But then the problem is because they're not giving you anything.
No.
Then when you go back, they're going, oh shit, you can't breathe. We got to put you on oxygen. You're going to die now.
Yeah. Wow. And once you're put on oxygen,
once you get
not oxygen,
ventilated.
You get ventilated.
That's oxygen, pretty much.
I mean, I know this from personal experience. That ventilator destroys your lungs.
I read an article that said
sometimes it's necessary. I get it.
If once you go on the ventilator, for every 1 day you're on a ventilator, it would take your lungs 7 days to recoup. So once you're taken off, let's say you're on it for 2 days, if you can't breathe on your own for 14 days, you're done, dude.
Right.
They're going to put you back on it. Then when you put you back on it for another day, and I know you know from experience because you lived it.
Right. Well, it wasn't me, but
well, you were there.
Right. But it also scars the shit out of your lungs.
Right. And that's why it takes so long for your lungs to recuperate.
Some of it won't even,
it'll never be back.
There's a percentage of your lungs will never heal.
Right.
And that's the thing. They say, oh, you can't breathe. And then they give that to you. Now you're dead. Because you had 30% of your lungs was functional. The rest was already scarred. Now you lose that other 15%. Now you're down to 10% of your lungs working.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're dead.
Yeah.
And lung transplants,
they're down.
You're lucky to live 5 years. Now, I've heard stories, great stories, people live like 10, 20 years. Yeah. But you're on medicine the rest of your life is fighting that your body doesn't destroy the lungs.
Right, because it's not you.
Right, and someone sneezes.
It's your body going, hey, that's someone else's shit.
Right.
I'm going to fight it.
That's
and you give yourself a drug to say, it's okay.
That's every organ transplant. And if someone sneezes by you, you're taking a literal AIDS pill. Because it attacks your immune system so you can live.
Yeah.
That's what you're on the rest of your life.
It represses your immune.
Yes. So now any other sicknesses, you're screwed.
All right, so here's what we know so far. We're at what? An hour and 40 minutes in.
We know that go off COVID and hit the rest.
Well, yeah. But we know that lockdowns are coming. We know that once you get the shot, that it's going to attack your system.
That's what we think, yeah. Anyway.
And that's what the autopsy's saying.
That's what the autopsy's saying, and that's what some of these doctors are saying, that they're being suppressed.
Right. And that's why I think once flu season kicks in, because when you look at the stats, so they locked us down in March, and we peaked in April, and then we came down May, June, July, August, September, it started to go back up. October, November, December, January, boom, we peaked again, and we've come back down. And what are they doing? Oh, mask on, mask off, mask.
Well, the dirty little secret about December, January, and February is the hospitals are always overrun.
Yeah, with flu.
With everything.
But
every old person in the world gets sick from something else, and then they're in there with their other problems.
Well, what's nice is that it corresponded with the greatest overthrow attempt of government ever in the history of the world. So
yeah, it's the worst things happened to the Capitol since 1812.
When they were burning cities in Portland and Chicago and all the other big cities, that was just, hey, we're good.
They're all.
That's not a super
Those
spreader.
guys are all outside hugging each other.
Hey, Tecker.
I was looking.
Quit reading your shit.
I was looking up
Pay
stuff.
attention.
Oh, she was looking up stuff on her phone.
All right, so I'm done with COVID.
Anchor stuff.
Anchor stuff.
Yeah.
We know that COVID's screwy.
Right. So we want to. You have some.
But
survivors.
before we get off COVID, one last thing. Punch face.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Wynn.
When?
When.
Get it right.
You know, the...
She's a hero of mine.
yeah, she is a hero. The murderer of babies. Because she used to be the head of Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
You know what she said this week? I wish... You're the clip expert.
Yeah, I didn't get an offer for this one.
We can't trust the unvaccinated.
Yeah.
We can't trust you. Yeah, but I put my trust in the lady that murdered babies.
And she's still
And
good
then,
body parts.
I saw a really
she murders babies and then she pushes her kid in front of you like, get vaxxed, save my baby.
Hey, what's really funny? I saw a meme this week. It was like Joe Biden extends the eviction moratorium or Moran, whatever. Yeah. Unless you're in the womb. I think it was Babylon B. They were saying, like, it's okay to abort babies, but not evict the dude who's not paying his rent.
What about homeboy there from Utah?
We talked about him last week.
That
He's
was last week.
punch face, too.
Romney equated COVID vaccines to abortion. If you don't get a COVID shot, you're like aborting living people.
All lives matter. Isn't that funny how that came around? All lives matter all of a sudden.
Yeah.
All right. So the goalposts are always moving.
Sure.
They're just going to keep moving them until you kick the dude in the face that is moving the goalposts.
Right.
So when they tell you to mask up, no. Send your kids to school without a mask on. They can't send all your kids home.
Not if 20, 30 kids go.
Not 20 or 30.
Oh.
If 1,000 kids show up at school without masks on, they can't send them home. If 500 teachers show up without masks on, which we know that ain't happening because they're libtards.
They're all sheep.
I think 4 of them are going to show up. So we know lockdown because of the flu deaths. Illinois with the mask mandate. We talked about that. We can talk a little economy.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the infrastructure bill. We kind of hit on this early on.
Yeah.
I know we're coming to the end of our thing. We talked almost 2 hours on, well, we did goof off with sports in the beginning.
Those are important.
We want 1 month away from college football.
Yeah, I don't even care.
I don't even care anymore either. You know, I've listened to like 4 baseball games all summer.
I used to like.
Sad.
It used to be my favorite part of the season because I like the weather. I like football.
Yeah, you had college football, NFL starting, and baseball playoffs.
And then you have high school football because you go sit in a high school football game.
Yeah, and you just take hot chocolate with you mixed with whiskey.
Yeah, I'll go to still high school games, but
I won't even do that anymore.
I can't bring myself to watch professional sports. I don't think at all.
They've destroyed it. They said the first week of the football season they're going to play the Black National Anthem.
No, it's before every game.
Yeah.
I read one today where it was just the first. They're going to be just the first week.
Well,
but it doesn't matter because we only have one national anthem.
Yeah.
One.
And that is the Black National Anthem. It's the White National Anthem. It's the Brown National Anthem. The Purple National Anthem.
It's the freaking national anthem.
Yeah, it's everybody's national anthem.
If you are an American, and since America rules the world, there's only one national anthem.
Yeah.
Mark. Okay. So in the infrastructure bill, we talked infrastructure last week.
Yeah.
$4 trillion over a 10-year period, and I still have a pothole out here.
Right.
Put a wiener around it.
Yeah, we know. So two big things in that infrastructure bill buried in it. One, the drunk driver. Drunk driver.
Can't read my own
I
writing.
can't read my own writing. Here, sensor. It's not sensors.
It's cameras.
But what it's going to do in all new vehicles made, there will be a sensor that will sense your heart rate, your like everything to know whether or not you're a drunk driver. Now,
it's a sensor embedded within the vehicle's cabin. Will track the driver's eye movement and monitor signs of being distracted, impaired, or tired. Bloomberg notes that this is a technology similar to the ones that police officers use when pulling over suspects during drunk driving stops. Debbie Dingell, a Michigan Democrat, released a statement that reads, "We can't wait any longer to make our roads safer from drunk driving accidents." She went on to say that inclusion of my bill is in the bipartisan infrastructure package will help incentivize the development and impairment of technology to stop drunk driving once and for all and save lives.
Okay. It's always about saving lives.
The key word is save lives.
Hey, it's always about saving lives until abortion comes in.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to save lives. Hey, if me banning your gun saves just one life.
Well, here's the little thing. First off,
save lives. Oh, that baby's crowning? Let's jam this tube up it. Well, how dare you think that you can just not save a life?
Well, first off, what does drunk driving have to do with infrastructure? Anyway.
Well, you're driving.
I guess. But it's not to do with it. Yeah. It
Hey,
wouldn't be the pothole that I hit that kills me.
No.
It's the fact that I had 3 beers while I ate dinner. And then I got to stare in my rearview mirror every car's behind me because I think it's a cop because I can't fucking drive.
Because you don't know if it's a cop because they drive a car just like you do.
Yeah, unmarked cars. So I'm staring in my rearview mirror. Meanwhile, I head-on hit someone coming the other way. Because I can't go with my friend and have a sandwich and drink 2 beers and they consider me inebriated.
If we only had a sensor that would follow your eyes.
Listen,
yeah, there's something to follow my eyes as my staring in the rearview mirror.
Here's what's funny. So I've always had a theory on drunk driving, right? So I think every car should be equipped with like an interlock, right? You get in, you breathe into the thing, and it starts your car. Now that does 2 things. I know that sounds invasive, but
better than cameras in your car.
Hold on. Here's what it does for you. 1. You could probably program it to only recognize like you and your wife to be able to start the car. So no one's stealing your car now. No carjackings gone.
Yeah, either that or
you can bypass
it. That or they grab you with a knife on your throat and
make you breathe into it. The second thing is, if you breathe into it and you're drunk, right? A big light comes out of the dashboard. Now,
oh Jesus!
If
this is a $100,000 car now.
No, you're thinking this is crazy. If you're driving down the road, hold on, and a light comes on, like behind you, what do? You pull over. You pull over. Sausage and Nazis. Right?
Like
yeah.
You do. You pull over. If an ambulance is coming towards you, you pull over. So big yellow make it a yellow one, right? Because, red and blue, they're all emergency vehicles. A yellow one would mean there's a stupid drunk behind you.
Just pull over.
You would pull off the road.
Let him go.
And you would get out of his way. Now, he can't run into you.
Yeah, but he could. Yeah, he still can, though.
No. And now, listen. With a caveat with that is...
This is getting crazy now.
Nope. If you hit anybody and cause bodily injury, you spend the rest of your life in jail.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, here's my theory on drunk driving. I think you should be able to go down to the state police barracks, pound a bunch of drinks in front of the cops, get in your car and drive it, and they give you a little sticker on the back of your license that has your breathalyzer number on it. Because I can drink more than 4 beers and drive home.
Hey, we all know that. Listen, I know that your dad could drink like a 30-pack of Coors Light and still drive fine.
Better.
Honestly, as much as me and you were with him, he never crashed.
Never.
He never crashed a boat. He never crashed a jet ski. He never crashed a van with a jet ski in it. We were good.
Yeah. No, that's the thing.
I have weed in his system.
God only knows. And 90% of people make it home, I want to tell everybody.
Hey, well, first off...
Someone says, why don't you call a cab? It's like, because I have a perfectly working vehicle right there.
Yeah. Dude, the first time I ever caught your dad smoking weed. It's a good story.
Go ahead.
I was probably 15, so you would have been, 13?
Mm-hmm.
We're at the water slides
at Racetown.
But I mean, we weren't at the water slides. We were at the resort.
Yeah.
He gave us money, or he told us to go get something.
Whatever. Yeah, we go get pizza.
I think we were going to get ice cream or pizza.
Now we're to the point where we're like 13. We're like, yeah, ice cream.
Me and you run up there to get probably food.
Probably.
That's probably what it was.
That's what you would run for.
We get up there. We don't have any money. So I'm like, hang out. I run down to the boat and grab money. I come back down to the boat, and your dad, I catch your dad. He's like, don't you fucking tell Justin. I think it was the only time your dad threatened to punch me in the face.
Well, you're lucky because he threatened to punch me in the face.
Hey, listen. And he was smoking out of a one-hitter, like, empty Mountain Dew.
Yeah, oh, you're the old
where he just poked holes in it. It was great. And, like, I'm 15, so, like, I'm at the age where, like, I kind of know what you're doing.
Well, you know.
But, like, I'm like, whatever. And, like, I want to be cool because I'm 15.
And I want that money to get food.
All right, cool. Can we get some money? He pulled out his sock.
A sock full of money, yeah.
I still tell everybody, like, your dad would have a big hole in his shirt. Like, he totally looked like a third ball.
Yeah.
But if you were like, hey,
my mother didn't buy his clothes, he'd have holes all through his clothes. He wouldn't care.
He wouldn't care.
No.
But, like, if you were like, hey, Uncle Brian, can I get some money? He pulled out a sack of freaking money. Yeah. He always had money on him. Yeah. Always.
That's because he worked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I know.
But he could be standing in a room with people, and they'd think he was garbage. And he had more money than
everybody's sitting there. And it's almost like the country songs are like the dude with the overalls is sitting there can buy anything in this town with $100 bills.
Well, I used to listen to a podcast that had a chef on it. And he would talk about, you know, they would open new restaurants, and he was in New York, like big, giant, billion-dollar restaurants.
$1 million, yeah.
But you get into some of those places downtown, you get it probably open, and you might even get close to $1 million. Mm-hmm. But he said, you go out, and you see people walking around. He's like, you know who I talked to? The guy in the corner with a shitty shirt on smoking cigarettes. Because you know why? Because he's the one who owns the restaurant.
Yeah.
Because you know why he dresses that way? Because he don't want no one to know he has money.
Right. Yeah. Nobody knows he has money.
Because he don't want to be flashing his money around.
Hey, side note, before we get too far off COVID.
We're all way off COVID.
I know we are. We're talking about totally different crazy
infrastructure. This isn't even COVID.
We're talking about infrastructure.
I got a message from our alien guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, your replacement.
We're looking out for you, dude. But he sent me a message because I sent him a funny tweet. It was like, it's like a...
What's his show? Majestic
Ears.
I said eyes.
Majestic Ears Only.
It's a good show. Listen to it. It's on all the podcasts.
It is. And if you like
Bigfoot
and aliens and anything, giants,
even like pop culture type mystery stuff. It's a cool show.
Yeah,
they did one about one day they did one about people popping in radio, like TV, taking over TV shows.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was an interesting one. Yeah. So I sent him a meme earlier, and it's a lady on the airplane that serves your drinks.
Stewardess.
It's like. She's like, here's your Corona. Thanks for choosing Delta.
Yeah.
It was just a funny thing. But he said, it's still crazy to me that the CDC admitted that they can't even test for the Delta variant. I'm 80-20 that this new variant, air quote, is made up entirely. And we kind of hit on that.
Well, first off, your friend's a racist. Because...
Well, he's probably a white supremacist.
He must be a white supremacist. Well,
he's white,
because
so he's
he listens to logic and facts.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the Delta variant and how we talked about the Delta variant. Now, I sent you guys that earlier article this week. It was Monday, where the article was from MSN.com, U.S. Health. It says, I'm going to quote this. However, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention can look at specific cases of coronavirus through genetic sequencing, but there isn't a specific test that will tell you if they have the Delta variant.
So that's what Jim was talking about.
Yes. Now, they can draw blood. You can send it to the CDC. They can run it through a test and tell you whether you have the Delta variant. But they don't have those tests that they're giving everywhere. They're not telling you whether you have the Delta variant. They're just making that shit up as they go.
Right. No, that one, No Agenda podcast, they call them producers, everybody that listens. The lady sent in, she works for a hospital. So we got so many people coming in and getting tests and stuff. If it comes back positive, it's Delta.
Yeah. So they're just telling you what they think.
Right. And now this is like boots on the ground. Take it for what you want to take it as. I don't see why she has a point of lying.
But how did we get back to
you brought it up because Jim.
Oh, because he texted.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, so the infrastructure bill.
When are we gonna get Jim back?
Drunk, whenever, dude. I'll talk to him this week. Maybe
we'll have to do a fun podcast to break up the COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, since they're locking us down next week.
Well, we can talk about.
Maybe we can get them on and talk about aliens again.
Yeah, I like talking about it.
One topic.
Ruby Ridge. Let's get him to talk about Ruby Ridge.
We have that. When's that anniversary? It's coming up.
It's in August. I think it's like 13 or 14.
Did we do a Ruby Ridge episode?
No, we haven't recorded it.
We haven't recorded it.
I have a shit pile of notes.
You have notes on it. I'm in trouble. But the other thing buried in the infrastructure bill.
Go ahead.
The other thing buried in the infrastructure bill was pay per mile tax.
Right.
So not only are they going to make all new cars have to have drunk driving sensors on them, which I'm sure is super cheap to put in a new vehicle.
But what about fixing bridges?
No, that ain't. Why would you want to fix bridges?
That's what the tax per mile is for, sir.
Oh.
Another tax to fix everything
What's
else
the $4
upon
trillion
the taxes. What?
What's all that money for? They're giving
It's humans are infrastructure now too.
Oh. Well, I heard an interesting thing about it. If you get the vaccine, it changes your DNA. And then you're now like, remember how Monsanto's has like the corn crops, and if you had to test the strains of the corn, they could take it and say it's theirs.
Well,
now you're owned by whatever that.
What did we say about 3 or 4 episodes ago? What's our blood and semen going to be?
The new Bitcoin.
The new Bitcoin, baby. Suck it, Trebek. I found this hat in the back.
Hey, your ovaries will be worth money too.
That's all right. They can take them.
All right.
For free.
There's still the droughts going on out west, and they're talking about food shortages. There's fires out there again. When isn't there fires out there?
Out west, yeah.
Everything's burning. If they'd only let them go in and clean up the freaking forests. Okay, so, hero of the week.
You got it. Who is it?
No, you have it.
That was Homeboy.
We already talked about it.
I know that the guy from the restaurant.
Yeah.
That's it. I talked about it. He's my hero of the week.
Well, my hero of the week was the gym owner.
Yeah, which I like better.
Yeah, he's pretty tough looking. He's got a cool beard.
Plus, I like when they're like, "I'll just take the door off."
Yeah. Yeah. How pretty pimtastic is that? Why is it? Like I've noticed, like Italian restaurants give 0 Fs when it comes to friggin' shutdowns. Like the one here in town, 0 shits given. They put 50 American flags up and they're like, we're staying open. We don't care. And we went to eat there during like the peak.
Yeah.
And like, it was so nice because it was like normalcy.
Everybody's in there.
Yeah, everybody's just in there eating.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in masks, whatever. And then we went to a place over in Hershey, right when we did our first episode, Taste of Sicily. Alex, shout out to them. They're like the same. Like, they don't give 2 shits.
Well, they came here.
And that's what I think it is. I think that the Italians who fled the crap have come here. And now
they wanted freedom. That's what they
came for. And now they're coming here and they're like, oh, crap, here it comes.
They see it. Well, they've been through it, just like we talked about earlier, with the African-American community, seeing the signs on the wall. Yeah, my grandparents told me about this. I ain't falling for this. I ain't falling for the banana.
Fool me once. What did I say last week? Fool me once, dude.
Yeah, I ain't falling for banana and tailpipe again.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's that. What about the Canadian strike on the border?
Yeah.
That's going to shut down. That's going to be more lumber problems as well.
Well, the Bank of England and J.P. Morgan are warning throwing out financial warnings.
You get
tired.
tuckered out.
Mm-hmm.
We already used that one.
The Bank of England, J.P. Morgan said we saw an unexpected growth in inflation.
Unexpected? How come I barely can read it? I saw it coming. You start printing money.
Now, they said we're seeing a great growth in bringing money in.
Oh, sure.
Right? But what they didn't talk about was inflation.
Yeah.
I mean, if I spent $4 on a hamburger last month and $6 on a hamburger this month, yeah, you're getting growth, but it's not good growth.
No,
that's inflation.
It's inflation.
I'm still getting the same hamburger. I'm not getting 4 hamburgers for the extra $2.
Right.
So that's one thing. And then the Bank of England said inflation for the unforeseen future. So they have no idea.
When they start giving people universal basic income, that's essentially what they're doing right now.
Yeah. Well,
so what do they expect? That's inflation. That's
universal basic income, the socialists say that's a good thing. That's not bad. That's great. I mean, you can just hand out money left and right. Like,
I forgot I was a racist.
Yeah, you're racist.
So I think that's about it.
I do, yeah. I mean, we hit the 2-hour mark. We're hammering these long episodes.
That's 3 in a row, I think. Actually, it looks like she's ready to fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Ashley. I know you're having a big party and everything. You're all wanting to get in.
I was getting
It doesn't matter what chips you buy or what freaking hamburger.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Brad won't be there. So you don't have to worry about what chips you buy. You can feed me garbage chips. I'll eat them.
Wise.
No, I won't go that poor.
That poor. So let's plug our stuff here. We'll do it real quick here. This Week in Conspiracy on pretty much everything. So that's Instagram, Facebook, Rumble. Our email is thisweekinconspiracy@gmail. That is Getter is Con, This Week in Con. And what else are we on? Parlor.
Twitter.
Is Parlor even up anymore?
Yeah, it's up. It stinks. There's nothing happening. Getter's getting bigger. I think people that thought that wasn't going to fly, I think it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger because
it's starting to catch on.
Well, I get on there more.
Yeah,
like Parlor, I put stuff on, but I really don't look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But Getter, I get on and read stuff because there's more people on it.
Yeah.
Do our Twitter there.
_conspiracy.
Okay. And go on iTunes, leave us a review, whatever you want.
Leave us some feedback.
Leave a comment. We'll read it. Haven't checked it this week. I was away, but I usually check it and see if we have any new ones.
Oh, wait. You forgot to mention.
Oh, yeah. Guess what? We are now
international.
We are in Poland. Listen. 3 pieces. I pull up, goes into a dog pen, drops his gum. He tries 15 before he finds his. That's an old stupid Polish joke.
I had a friend that was
I had a book when I was a kid that said 100 Polish jokes. That's how old I am.
I had a friend that was in the military and trained.
There's nothing wrong with Poland. I was just saying that's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Brad
They had books too. They also had books that said 100 Irish jokes, 100. Italian jokes.
You racist.
You're right.
White supremacist.
Oh, I think Poland.
I had a friend that was in the military and did some training with the Poles. He said, after I trained with them, I'll never make fun of them again.
No, they're great people.
They were 6'3", the Swede, sweet. And he was they were some of the baddest dudes ever.
Nobody messes with the Swede.
Nobody messes with the Swede. I'm going to put a your earring out. So we plugged everything?
I think we plugged everything. I tell you what, this week I'm going to come to Ashley's party.
It's going to be great.
You know
Slip and slide.
Yeah, you and your friends.
Send
There's only one thing I have to say to you and your friends. Yeah, you can leave your friends behind. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they ain't no friends of mine. Say, you can dance whatever you want to. There's that midget
Come
running around.
out of this world, leave the real one fall behind. We can dance.
Let's sing.
We can dance.
All right.
Not yet.
Well, we're done tonight.
No.
It's
Come on,
done.
Ashley.
You can dance if you want to. We get 20 seconds before the people make us pay for their stupid songs.
Well,
Peace. Hey,
Buy local.
buy local.